Hello and welcome. I'm Juliana Kawauchi from Let's Study Eikaiwa, and today we have one more writing practice for the Eiken grade pre-2 test, and we are going to practice both tasks. Remember that the new format now has two pieces of writing, and today I will practice with you both of these tasks, okay? Our first task is the task in which we have to reply an email in English that answers the question clearly. What question? You will get an email from a friend or an acquaintance, and in the email there is a question. You have to find the question, and answer it. There is also an underlined word or phrase, so you have to ask two specific questions about this underlined word or phrase. And how many words are you supposed to write? You're supposed to write about 40 to 50 words, so it's not very long. All you have to do is practice a lot and plan your writing. And of course, don't forget that you are supposed to write your answer in the email answer section on side B of your answer sheet. Okay, be careful with that. Well, let's move on. Let's read our email. Let's find the question, identify, of course, find the underlined word or phrase, and let's start our planning. This is the email. I'm going to read it aloud with you guys. Hi, I have something to tell you about. I went to a library with my friends yesterday. I wanted to study at home, but my friends suggested studying at a quiet place. So we went to the library near the station. It was very beautiful, and there was a surprise. There was a cafe in the library. Do you think such cafes will become popular in the future? Your friend Alex. So here, it's very simple to identify, of course, the word is underlined. Our word is library, and we are supposed to ask two questions about this word. Okay? And our question is right here. Do you think such cafes will become popular in the future? Now we already know what we have to ask about and what we have to answer. We're going to start putting our ideas together in order to reply the email. So the first thing that I'm going to think about is what to ask about the library, the word library. And my first question is, do you often go to the library to study? My second question, did you have a cup of coffee there? These are my two questions, the ones that I'm going to include in my piece of writing. But you can include other questions, okay? You can use something else. I have some more examples here. The first question is the same. Do you often go to the library to study? And then my other two questions are different. Were there yummy snacks in the cafe? So yummy means delicious, tasty, okay? And the other question, was the cafe crowded? Was it full of people? Okay, so you can use these to practice your writing, and you can also come up with your own questions, okay? But remember that you are only supposed to ask two questions. Now let's move on. Let's put these questions, okay, into our reply, okay? Let's continue. This is my reply email. I'm going to read it. After that, I'm going to go over some vocabulary. And then if you guys feel that you need to read it again, just pause the video and read it again to understand it more clearly. Well, let's get started. That sounds interesting. I think cafes in libraries might become popular in the future because many people enjoy a cozy space to study and relax while having a cup of coffee. Also, do you often go to the library to study? And did you have a cup of coffee there? Very simple, okay? I addressed the task perfectly. And you saw, take a look over here, that I started with something that doesn't go straight to the answer, just to break the ice a little bit. So I always like to start with something like that, okay? Greeting your friend or commenting on something that he said on his email. In this case, I wrote that sounds interesting, because I think that it sounds interesting to have a cafe in a library. Okay, and then after that I went straight to my answer, and I didn't use yes. I just repeated part of the question and I included into my answer, okay, because it was, do you think such cafes will become more popular? Then I started with I think, or maybe if you don't, I don't think. In my case, I think cafes in libraries might become popular, okay? And what does might mean? Might is something that could happen. There is a possibility. They will possibly become popular in the future. After that, I use the word cozy. Why? Because many people enjoy a cozy space to study. What is cozy? Cozy is something comfortable, something nice, even warm if we're talking about a blanket or something. So that's the idea. People enjoy comfortable spaces. The next word I wanted to highlight here is while. We use while often when we are talking about two activities that are happening at the same time, okay? So at the same time that you relax, you can have a cup of coffee. That's why relax while having a cup of coffee. Two things at the same time. Okay. And finally, often in a question, okay? Often gives the idea of usually, something that happens, okay, repeatedly. So I can include it in a question like, do you go to the library repeatedly? Okay, so do you often go to the library to study? That is one of my questions. And notice that the first question is in present tense because it gives the idea of a routine. If he goes there, if he usually goes there. And the second one is in the past because it already happened. He went to the library, and I want to know if there he drank or he had a cup of coffee. That's why, did you have a cup of coffee? So as you write, pay attention to the tenses. If you are talking about things that happen often as a routine, as a part of an everyday activity, we are going to use the simple present. Do, does for he, she, or it. But do you, do your parents. And if you were going to ask something that happened in the past, okay, it's back there, then you should use did. Did you? So be very careful with the tense. Well, that's my piece of writing. Remember that we are supposed to write something in between 40 to 50 words, and here I have 48 words. Let's move on to our second task. Our second task, we will be asked a question, also by a foreign acquaintance, okay? And we are going to answer that question, providing two reasons for my opinion. And it's a little bit longer. I should write something in between 50 to 60 words. All right, so we have been practicing a lot. I think this is much easier, but remember that planning is the key to a good piece of writing. So when we are practicing, write down your ideas. Don't start writing right away. Just put some keywords, some important words that will help you answer the task and that will help you give additional information. It's always important to give a reason, additional information. Second reason, additional information, okay? Because this will help you achieve the number of words necessary. And keep your sentences short because it will be better organized and probably more coherent. It will be better to understand, okay? Easier to understand. Let's move on. This is our prompt. Do you think it is a good idea for students to get up early to study in the morning? One more time. Do you think it's a good idea for students to get up early to study in the morning? Here I have 4 pieces of writing, okay? 2 that are a yes answer and 2 that are a no. They are similar, The only difference is that I reduced a little bit of words and I changed the transitional words. I will explain what these transitional words are. Okay, well, let's start. Remember that I said that the key to good writing is planning. So the first thing is a do question. You are going to think, what is my answer? Yes or no? That's the first thing you have to do, okay? And I'm gonna start with a yes answer. And then I'm gonna start planning, okay? Get up early to study in the morning. Why is it a good idea? Then I thought, first of all, I can get a, if I sleep early, of course, I can get a good night of sleep and I will feel rested, okay? The next morning I'm gonna feel rested. And as a result, I will have a fresh mind. So here, just keywords, words that you know that are going to help you start writing. What is my second reason? Okay, well, I would say that I will be, my focus is better, I will be better focused, right? And also, I will feel more productive. So I will use these four expressions, okay, to help me build my piece of writing. Let's get started. Here I have my piece of writing. I can start with yes, you don't have to. You could start with I think or I don't think. But in this case, I used yes. I think it's a good idea for students to get up early to study. When students sleep well, they wake up feeling rested, so their minds are fresh and they focus better. Also, waking up early to study can make them feel more productive because they can finish their work before the day gets busy. A very simple piece of writing, 57 words. Okay, remember that we should write in between 50 to 60, so the number of words is very good. And notice that when I started writing, I didn't just say yes I do. I repeated, okay? I think it sounds better for a piece of writing instead of yes I do or no I don't. So I repeated that. And then I didn't say if you are studying for ACAN, if you buy the books, all of them will have. I have two reasons. First, second. In this piece of writing, I didn't use that. You don't have to use it, okay? I teach my students to follow this, and all my students have passed so far with flying colors. They are doing really well on the test, so if you feel comfortable using first and second, you can, but you don't have to. What you do have to do is use transitional words, these keywords that show that you are introducing a new idea, okay? The first idea is here, introduced with when students sleep well, they wake up feeling rested. So is a transitional word. Because they feel rested, what happens? Their minds are fresh and they can focus better. So the key words to a good piece of writing is the transitional words. Okay, you have to be careful. And then I want to add my second idea. I didn't use the word second. I used also. Also is a transition word that shows that you are adding information, adding ideas. Also, waking up early can make you feel, also waking up early to study can make them feel more productive. Why? And I added a little bit more information because they can finish their work before the day gets busy. That's why I always say get the reason, a little bit more information. Second reason, a little bit more information, okay? Because then your piece of writing will not only reach the number of words, but it will also enrich your writing, turn it a little bit more interesting to the reader. And of course, show that you have vocabulary and that you are capable of putting your ideas together, okay? Now let's move on. The same piece of writing with some slight changes, I think using the words first, second, or something similar. Let's take a look at these changes together. Over here, I included two reasons. Remember I said that if you are practicing for the ACAN, you have the expression or the sentence, I have two reasons, right? I think it's a good idea, full stop. I have two reasons. instead of making two separate sentences, in my opinion, it sounds more natural when you, instead of saying I have two reasons, you link the two reasons to your answer. Like I did here. Yes, I think it's a good idea for two reasons. Okay, so it's more natural. And then instead of first, I use the transition word to begin with. It's the same, okay? They're very similar. So to begin with, when students sleep well, they wake up feeling rested. So their minds are fresh and they can focus better. Also, waking up early to study can make them feel more productive because they can finish their work before the day gets busy. I used, there are 55 words here, so a little bit just shorter than the other one, which had 57. But just to show you, if you feel more comfortable starting with first, you can. Second, to begin with, also, okay? And now let's move on. Let's go to our no answers, okay? If you think it's not a good idea, that's okay. It's your opinion. Maybe because you need more sleep. That's one of the reasons. For you, waking up early will make you feel tired during the day, so maybe you are not an early bird, right? You are not a person that feels good waking up early. Also, for you, it's better to study later during the day because you will feel rested, alert. These are ideas that you will include in your passage. And finally, because you are going to study at a later moment of the day, this will help you to focus better. These are all reasons that you will include in your no answer. Let's see our no answers. The first one, no, I don't think it's a good idea for students to get up early to study. To begin with, many students need more sleep, and waking up early might make them tired during the day. So, it is better to study when they feel rested and alert at a later time. This can help them focus better and learn more. Here I used the transition word to begin with, and I didn't use also. I used so, like as a result, because of this. Okay, so I am adding more information too. So the same idea, okay, different transitional word. It's up to you. You could use first or second. And here it's really tight, 60 words. So let's reduce it a little bit more, okay? 53 words. It's a little bit shorter, okay? It's really shorter. And I started with no, I don't think it's a good idea for two reasons. First, many students need more sleep, and waking up early might make them tired during the day. Second, it is better to study when they feel rested and alert at a later time. This can help them focus better and learn more. So I removed to begin with, I put first. I did not repeat the whole thing. I think it's a good idea for students to get up early to study. I just said, I don't think it's a good idea. And then I added for two reasons. Okay, so if for some reason you think it's gonna be very long, you are going to exceed the number of words, don't repeat everything. Just get some keywords, some very important words from the prompt, and include them in your yes or no answer, okay? Well, guys, this is it. I hope you guys found this video helpful. And soon I will be bringing you some videos, but for probably ACAN grade 3 and ACAN grade 2. Okay, so I wish you guys the best of luck. If you need to reach out and ask any other questions, please feel free. Drop them down below in the comment section or just send me an email. I'll be more than happy to get back to you guys. Bye-bye, and I'll see you soon. See you. Bye-bye.